everybody's wrong. Rewrote the song. Thoughts become action. Tell me what's happening. Wish your mind wrapped in, wrapped around, wrapped around.
Yo, what is up everybody? It's Crynzic here, and today I'm going to bring you guys a magic bullet looks tutorial. I said I'd do one a while back, but I've been uploading a lot of templates, and thank you for the feedback on those. Those are getting tons of downloads, but we're going to be doing a magic bullet looks tutorial. Magic bullet looks is actually pretty easy to work. It's just really has to do with your preference and everything. You just change different things around and what you think looks nice. But yeah, first off, we're going to start with the download, and then we're going to get into how to use it. So what you want to do is go into the description, and there's going to be a media file link for a 32-bit and a 64-bit that you guys are going to go ahead and download. It's a media file link, and after you download that, you should come up to a screen. I'll download it right now for the sake of the video. I actually just uninstalled it for the sake of the video, so yeah, it'll be in filter, by the way. So give it a second. Yeah, it's alright. It's already done. This is the setup. So something's gonna pop up. Then you're gonna want to go ahead and click yes after you open your file or whatever. So when you get it, open it, and then click yes. And then what you're gonna want to do is click next to all this. Actually, if it says anything about like changing anything, like your browser or anything, obviously click no. I'm pretty sure it doesn't do this. But this is the code right here. There will be a link in the description. Not a link, but there will be like the code in the description to the message of it or whatever. I'll just keep it on the screen for right now. So wait, let me open that on my sticky notes. This is the code right here. MBPF 1000 8782 3550 0959. This will also be in the description. And when you come to this, it auto clicks install demo version. You don't want to do that. You want to enter serial and then put that in. You can't copy and paste it, because if you do, it'll only go into one box. So what you can do, if you have it on a sticky note like me, you can just double click the area and then Control C, Control V. See, if you do this, it only allows 4 in each, so it'll only do the first 4, and it'll keep putting MBPF since it's the first. So after that, you want to go ahead and click done, and then you want to make sure it says Adobe Photoshop and your programs and stuff. But what I usually do is I go to Adobe Photoshop, and I make sure it's in the right thing, and I put it in my plugins, and then I go to OK. I'm pretty sure you can just have it in your Adobe folder. I would do that. I would go into plugins, but yeah, let's continue. So after that, it's going to start installing some stuff. It's really easy. I'm pretty sure your Photoshop can be open. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, look, it's already done. Very easy. A web browser will pop up or whatever. It'll pop up on your screen, and you can just X out of that. That doesn't really matter. Don't recommend any settings. And yeah. So then what you want to do is, if your Photoshop was open, you're going to go ahead and exit it and then open it up again. And if you did it right, it should be under your filters, but I would do what I suggested, going into Adobe, then going into Photoshop, then plugins, just to make sure. But let my Photoshop load up and everything pop back up. And yeah, it's right here. So I'm gonna get into Magic Bullet Looks. I'm just gonna pick a random design that I haven't already Magic Bullet Looks. Let's X out of that. File, open, designs. I don't know what to pick. I guess I'll just pick something random. Let's pick. I have Magic Bullet a lot of my stuff, so I can't really find anything that's not. How about this right here, maybe? Sure, this is an outro I did not too long ago. But yeah, so what you want to do is, when you have it, make sure it's in all one layer, because if it only does the layer selected. So if I just take some random brush strokes or whatever and click filter, Magic Bullet, Photo Looks, it'll only do those brush strokes, and it's all weird. See, and then when you do this, it'll be too light or whatever. But make sure everything is in one file. That's why a lot of the times, if you see some of my speed arts, I save it, then reopen it. But yeah, so make sure it's all on the same file. Then you want to go to filter, Magic Bullet, Photo Looks. And I have a preset right here. This is it's in like intensify or whatever. But I'm gonna go to, you don't really have to click anything, just put your mouse or your cursor over there to the general area, like, and it'll pop up, so looks and tools. I'm not too proficient really at magic bullet looks, so forgive me, but I'm still learning as well, but I do know some. So basically what I did when I first started is I just went through, and it gives you a little preview here, and like, I don't want any of that, and you just kind of look around, and you just look what looks nice in a preview, or just maybe just try things out, and if you find something close to what you look like say I like how this right here, this coolish looks, but I want it lighter, so I go to everything and kind of mess with it. So I'm messing with this, I'm like, oh, okay, that does that, this does this, and eventually you'll end up learning. You can change the color and everything, but I will show you some of the stuff I do know and a lot of the common stuff that you should know. Like, the main thing I use for subject, I use exposure, and I use a lot of diffusion, but that's on matte, I'm pretty sure. But exposure, what it just does, it's basically just messes with the brightness, and I used to use a lot of that at first, and you can go into negatives, and you can go all the way up and all the way down. So yeah, the next thing I use in subject, I use saturation and curves. Curves, a lot of this is just like making a CC in Photoshop, but I guess it's better, it's more advanced, and you can edit certain things a lot better. But yeah, for saturation, what I do is I find a color, like say I'm going for this blue theme, and then I put up the exposure, and I put up saturation and everything. So a lot of this is in Photoshop, and it just takes it and makes it more advanced, like saturation, curves, all that. If you don't know what curves does, there's not really anything specific. You just kind of mess with these lines that they give you, and it's kind of your preference pretty much, as I said earlier. But yeah, let's go to matte. What I use for matte, I use a lot of diffusion. And diffusion, if you have it right, as you can see, this stuff in the corner and stuff is kind of blurry, like light. I don't know, I just think it looks really clean. You can change the colors of it. I can make it red or whatever. Then I can mess with all this, make it higher or lower. And yeah. What another thing that I use for matte, I also use exposure. But I use warm cool too. And with warm cool, there's not really any, like, it's kind of like hue and saturation, and you can just mess with it gives it like a nice tint. So say I want it to be blue, I can go all the way up in blue, but I want it to be kind of like I don't know, I can lower the like color, like right here, instead of like finding your specific one, you can use this, and it goes up and down and right to left, and then this messes with the color of the tint and the color of the overall design or wallpaper. That's pretty much. I don't really use too much. I use deflare occasionally, and I don't know, it just gives it like a nice like look, I guess. Sometimes depends on what the design is, but you guys can get in here and mess around yourself. Chromatic aberration, I use that for certain things, like as you can see, you know when you have like 3D glasses or whatever, and you see behind it like stuff is like blue and red, that's pretty much what this does. And you can intense like the colors, like blue and yellow. If you want it to be blue, you can put blue all the way out, and it kind of goes behind everything, and it just makes it look really clean, and I really like it. You can put it all the way up. I wouldn't really suggest that. It looks weird. It makes it look like everything's like zoomed in. Yeah, but now saving presets. Now let's say I find something over here, or I make something like super bloom right here. Okay, I'll turn down everything, find out what does what. So maybe I don't want that, and I don't want the diffusion or whatever, and I don't want a lot of this stuff, and I just edit it and I change it and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this green, like whatever, looks really nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use that. So what you do is, it says untitled look right here. What you do is you just give it a name. So you can say, oh, I don't know, green tint, and then press enter, and it automatically goes into your custom over here. So every time you can just green tint. And what if you want to save, because a lot of computers, if you don't really have a good computer, my computer I think is decent and it can run a lot of this stuff. If you don't, you can save look as, and it'll save it as a JPEG, and it'll just save it as a regular picture. Like if you go to, alright, I'm pretty sure it is save image as, saves it as a picture. And if you want to save a look, what you do is save look as, and you just save it as whatever. And what save look as, what that does is a lot of times, you know, when I do my templates or whatever, I use magic bullet looks, and you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know how to edit that or whatever. You can open this and it'll give you that look. So it's basically just transferring magic bullet looks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really, once you go over it, pretty much, it gets pretty easier, and you find out what certain things do once you mess around with it and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I did hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you're not subscribed, and I'm out. Peace.